Magic and Molemen, The Weary Dragon Inn Series, Book 5. Written by S. Usher Evans. Read for you by Deborah Balm. Chapter 1. That thing has to be around here somewhere. Bev wished she was scouring the small thicket near the Weary Dragon Inn for something mundane, like fresh spring blackberries for a delicious crisp. But while there were blackberries to be found, mostly red and underripe, Bev was traipsing through the brush and bramble for something much more dangerous and potentially life-altering. Biscuit, her trusty laylaps, a magical detection creature who resembled a small dog, had his nose to the ground, sniffing and pawing as he squeezed into spots too small for Bev to manage. Only the white tip of his tail was visible, his golden fur obscured by the thick vines and underbrush. Although Bev was doing her best to search, Biscuit would find what she was looking for much faster with that keen nose of his. The laylaps let out a yelp of surprise, and a few moments later reappeared in the clearing with half an engraved wooden amulet in his mouth, tail wagging so fast it was hardly visible. "Well done," Bev said, holding out the small basket she carried under her arm. "Put it here." Biscuit deposited the amulet piece next to the other one he'd found a few minutes before. Bev held her breath, hoping they wouldn't glow or pop or do something magical when close to one another. But they just sat there, as dull and boring as a solstice ornament. It would have been easy to believe there was nothing special about them, but Bev knew differently. The last time she'd held them together, she'd been given a terrible vision about a battle she'd presumably been in, and more glimpses of a past she'd probably forgotten for a good reason. "Okay, Biscuit," she said, covering the two pieces with the kitchen towel. "Let's head back to the inn. We've got chores to finish." Biscuit trotted ahead of her as they left the thicket for the main road leading to the inn. Bev couldn't help but glance from side to side, searching the empty roads for a soldier. Of course, it was just after dawn, and there wasn't a soul stirring, except for her and Biscuit. But one couldn't be too careful where the Queen's soldiers were concerned. It was because of one such soldier that Bev had even had the thought to retrieve the amulet pieces and investigate their mysterious origins further. She'd been content to live her life as the proprietor of the Weary Dragon Inn, a place she'd called home since arriving in Pigsend 5 years ago, without a clue who she was or where she'd come from. But imagine...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?